name is Jonathan Pollinger, and I'm here with Social Today on a Monday. Good morning, Rita. That was a very quick join in this morning. Just trying to sort out the light, make that a little bit better. Sort out the tripod. Good morning, Brisa. I think you were here on Friday. So, welcome. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Yes, very much on the ball. I see Rita on this Monday morning, and greetings, Marcus, Nigel, Sue. Yeah, so good crowd already in this morning. Early stages. Good morning from Wales. Excellent. Good morning, Dowie. Two people from Wales this morning. So excellent. So a good crowd. So let's crack on with today's social media news roundup of what's been happening over the past week. But before I do that, slight change in format on the Social Today show. So what we're going to do is have news on Monday, so some news coming up right now. Tuesday, going to have some social media tips every Tuesday. Wednesday, going to give you an example or a case study of social media for business use out there. Thursday, tools, and Friday, there'll be an interview. So basically trying to spice things up a bit. Keep things interesting throughout the course of the week. So let's crack on. First of all, with some news from Facebook. So lots of Facebook news this week. First of all, let's see what we'll start off with. Yeah, let's start off with the average response time change on the messaging change. So basically, when people privately message you over your Facebook page, they can click the message button, the message icon. Facebook measure the time that it takes you to respond, and they give you a nice badge if you respond quickly. But you can now change those settings. You can play around with those settings a little bit, so to help people's expectations, or to limit people's expectations. So, for example, if you were responding within the hour, then you could set your response rate to the fact that you would be responding within 2 hours to give you a bit more time to play with. And that bit of information is also going to be visible on people's messenger when they actually message you. So that's an interesting change there. Also related to that are some auto messages going on to make things easier for pages. So this is definitely something. Morning, Leanne. Morning, everybody else who's joining in. So these auto messages, basically sort of like templated messages. So at the moment on your Facebook page, you've got some manual ones. You might not have noticed these, but there are some manual preset, pre-made up messages that you can use to respond to typical standard messages. And hello from Russia. Lots of countries in today. So Mexico, Wales, England, and Russia. Brilliant. So I hope you're finding this social media news roundup useful. So yeah, templated messages on Facebook, they're there, pretty useful as it is, but now even more useful because you will be able to set them up to automatically reply to people. So an example of that would be that if you're away, say on holiday, or there's nobody managing your page for a particular day, then you can ping people sort of the equivalent of an email out of office message, which should be quite handy, pretty useful to be able to do that. Also for first time visitors as well, first time people messaging you, you can send them a unique message as well. Pretty handy side. Definitely check out, if you haven't checked out the messaging section of your Facebook page for a while, I would definitely do that because of all this extra functionality that is in there and available. Nice observation there, Hack H Dex. I can see that you're really on the ball this morning. Okay, so Facebook at Work. So have you heard about Facebook at Work? So this is an intranet type feature, and you can basically employ Facebook at Work within a large organization, and the idea is to kind of replace email. So yeah, I think you made your point there. Replace email and help people collaborate and communicate within the workplace. So Facebook have been trialling Facebook at Work for a while, but they've now got their first big customer in the UK, which is Royal Bank of Scotland, and RBS are going to be rolling out Facebook for Work to 100,000 people that work at Royal Bank of Scotland. So a massive rollout there for Facebook at Work. So if you're in a large organisation, could well be one to keep an eye on. Just a prediction that I picked up from a guy called Ed Couchman, who gave a talk the other day. Ed Couchman, head of agency relations at Facebook. Now I'm always banging on about how mobile is and the visual, both mobile and the visual side of things are going to be huge in future. Amplify, HootSuite, that's interesting. I'll have a look at that. I'm not a HootSuite user, Dowie, so thanks for that information. And he says, he predicts, this Ed Couchman, head of agency relations at Facebook, predicts that by 2018, 9 in 10 stories, so 90% of stories on Facebook, will be either audio or visual. So, in other words, not just text. So that's amazing if you think about it. That's just 2 years, a few years away there, because we're end of 2005 now. So 9 out of 10. And when you think that just maybe 6 or 7 years ago, people getting into using Facebook, it was solely text updates, no pictures even, leave alone video. So that is a massive change that looks like we're going to see. So an interesting prediction from somebody that works at Facebook there. Another one really handy. You might have noticed this. This is coming in if you're afflicted by poor internet coverage, as we are here in Cheltenham or elsewhere, and you're typing a Facebook comment. Facebook, it could be entirely cat memes, but let's hope it's a little bit more than that. That's another one that I mentioned last week, actually, Dowie. Thanks. Live streaming. Facebook are indeed launching their own live streaming service to rival Periscope. So that's a good one. Thank you very much for that. Anyone else, if you have got any other news that I have missed or you've heard about this week that you'd like to chat about, do please chip in to the comments. These comments then. So Facebook comments, talking about comments, if you're in a bad internet access area, you can basically type in your comment. It will save within the Facebook app, and it will then shoot off to Facebook as soon as you get internet access, and will be posted on the site. So that's going to be pretty useful. So, a bit of Twitter news this week. As we're sort of pointing out, Facebook way more innovative than Twitter, and lots more things going on. Even there, I think I've given you about 4 or 5 stories. So that's kind of like one change on Facebook every day at the moment, pretty much. But Twitter, last week we mentioned how the whole of your phone screen is now taken up by a photo on Twitter, if you choose. And now similar sort of changes to photos on desktop, laptop. So there's a change of layout. Rather than have just sort of 4 pictures the same size, for example, you can have like one big picture now with 3 smaller pictures on the right hand side. So it's publishing pictures a little bit better. And guess what? Copying from Facebook, because that's exactly what Facebook do when they publish the photos. Also, cropping has gone, or is in the process of going, on Twitter. So the whole picture is now visible. So kind of in line with that quote from the Facebook guy, Twitter also becoming visual as well as Facebook. Excuse me. Also, Twitter. This is a bit of a daft one in my opinion, not quite sure what they're trying to do, but they're changing the order of playing around with the Newsfeed. You know, there's nothing wrong with the reverse chronological Newsfeed. You know exactly where you are with that. You can follow a news story as it happens, but they're playing around with the order of tweets, and putting tweets in your feed on a sort of like relevance, importance type algorithm or score. please don't Twitter. I don't know what you guys think about that. But again, yeah, it's another change, as you say, Dowie, becoming more similar to Facebook. But you're Twitter, you're unique, so don't change your USP. Also, something else, ads to, they've been talking a lot about trying to get the business community interested, investors interested. Why do you have Facebook? Why do you hate Facebook? Tell me, Ben be interesting. Is it all the cat memes, perhaps? But do tell me why you hate Facebook. Yeah, ads to non-logged in users. This is quite an interesting development to keep their shareholders happy and trying to get a bit more money in. They're going to start selling ads even if you're not logged in, so you'll be able to see exactly. I think they will. They will be. You'll be able to see ads on LinkedIn basically without necessarily being logged in to Twitter. So they'll money-making revenue opportunity there, and also be able to keep their shareholders happy. How they'll be able to know what sort of ads to serve is another matter. I guess they could use cookies and things like that, but clearly it won't be so sophisticated as if a user was logged in. It won't be so targeted. No news on LinkedIn this week. They released a couple of mobile apps which we talked about last week, and just something to finish off with on YouTube. Yeah, I think it will help them a little bit there. Certainly, they need to improve things on the business side, on the investment side. Welcome, Randall. Trending items. So you get your trending items on Facebook, top right-hand side, on web, and also the iPad. So you're going to get trending items now, trending videos on YouTube. So that's one to look out for. So that's pretty much it for speed through and social media news roundup of the last week. If there's any other news items that you've got that you want to chat about, do post them in the comments, or of course you can tweet me at intranetfuture. If not, should be back tomorrow 8:45. I will be back 8:45 tomorrow. Welcome, Sue, and thanks for all the hearts, everybody. Thanks, Leanne. Good to have you on the show. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks, appreciate all the comments. So Tuesday tips. So a social media tip, or maybe more than one tip. Tomorrow morning at 8:45. So have a fantastic day. I'm off to Siren Sister. Oh, that's a good one. I did read about that, but I'm not really too interested in Google Plus, so I chose to leave it out. But yeah, you can share photo albums now on Google Photos. But good one, Dowie. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm off to Siren Sister to talk about running some training for clients of a web design company, and then it's back over this side to Tewkesbury. Yes, they stripped it out of Google Plus, didn't they? So Google Photos, that's right. Thank you for that. Over to Tewkesbury for a client's monthly report and review of their strategy. I think we are up to month 4 of their strategy, and they're doing well. So I look forward to going through that with TRL, a company in Tewkesbury, later. So whatever you're doing today, have a fantastic time, and back tomorrow at 8:45.